Rockstar has recently ported the original Red Dead Redemption 1 plus the Nightmare DLC for PS4 and Nintendo Switch, but not for PC, which is an injustice done to us by Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive. So I thought, why don't emulate and play the original console ports of Red Dead Redemption on my PC, which comprises of a Ryzen 7 5700G with Radeon Vega 8 integrated graphics. For your information, I am currently not using any dedicated graphics card due to the current GPU market. Also, let me tell you guys that I allocated 4 gigs RAM from 32 gigabytes, that is my total system's memory, to the iGPU VRAM to gain some extra performance out of it. So let's see how the game performs. Firstly, I played the PS3 version of the game. So first, let me open RPCS3 and show you the custom configuration settings for Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year Edition. These are my settings as you can see here. The graphics API is set to Vulkan. I enabled white buffer rendering and VSync. CPU X-Float is enabled. The resolution is set to 540p, just because the game used to run below 720p on the native hardware. Anti-aliasing is disabled and shader quality is set to low. FSR sharpness is set to 10% only. Rest, everything is the same as default. I then booted the game. It was good until I got into the game. I was unable to fetch a constant 30 frames per second during the initial stage, especially whenever I moved the camera to this house. The game was very much laggy, but after some time, I was able to get almost constant 30 FPS. Yeah, it usually dropped below 30, but at least I was able to play Red Dead 1 on my PC and on the APU itself. Now suddenly my game crashed after a few minutes. So I moved on to the next version. Okay, now it's the turn for our Xbox 360 counterpart. I am using Xenia Masters for the time being. So, yep, I fired up the Xbox 360 version without messing up with the Xenia settings, because I didn't want to make things messy at the first moment. So I fired up the game with the default settings, and yeah guys, I didn't have good luck with it too. The game was constantly crashing during the first loading screen initially, but I managed to get into the game somehow. I was unable to play the 360 version of the game on my system due to game crashes, even after trying multiple times. So in the end, here's the conclusion. Can you play Red Dead Redemption 1 on AMD's Radeon integrated graphics? Well, yes, you can technically play the PS3 version of RDR1 on the Ryzen 7 5700G, I hope with the 5600G iGPU too, but you won't get a stable and decent experience with some minor crashes. But I hope to get the issue fixed as the development of RPCS3 progresses further. Now on the other hand, if you want to play the Xbox 360 version, then you can use Xenia Canary, which is technically the beta version of the software, and the main thing is that it gives quite a performance boost in RDR1. You can even play the game on Steam Deck quite well. Unfortunately, I came up with this Windows Smart Screen warning, I don't know why. Hence I decided not to risk my data and stick with the master version. But if you're not getting this pop-up, then you can try Xenia Canary to play RDR1. But hey, remember guys to get the emulators from their official sites only. Also make sure to scan the files in case you have mistakenly downloaded the wrong version. There are tons of guides available regarding how to set up RPCS3 and Xenia, their best settings, how to dump your games, and so on. If you don't own the game, then you can still buy RDR for both platforms from Amazon at a much cheaper price than the newer versions ones. You can then dump the game using your console and your computer system. Yes sure, you can tweak the graphics settings and play up to 4K 60 plus FPS, maybe even at 8K in the future if not yet today. Hence, in this way, you don't have to beg Rockstar for releasing a decade-year-old game to the platform it was never released. Yes, you will be missing out on some features like achievements, cloud support, remote play, etc., but still you can experience the game without them. Also the multiplayer works sometimes and sometimes not on RPCS3, so if you want to play online, then you can check that out too. So, guys, the main objective or aim of this video is to aware you that you can play Red Dead Redemption 1 along with the Nightmare DLC on your PC. Perhaps due to insufficient GPU power on my system, the game was not playable that much or at all. But don't worry guys, you don't need to have a $1,000 gaming PC to play your PS3 or Xbox 360 games. If you already have a decent enough system with a dedicated graphics card, then you can play the game pretty easily. Well, I have no hope that Rockstar will ever launch RDR1 for PC. But I wish that Rockstar Games stops making their games exclusive to console platforms and leaving the PC counterpart behind. I hope that this doesn't happen with upcoming GTA 6 and Max Payne remakes. That will be a nightmare for all of us in the PC gaming community.